What's good, YouTube? It's your boy NosaaNation, man. Today we got a new special video, man. How good was Wizards Michael Jordan? Now, if you're new here, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, you know, all that. Finish that. I ain't never ever seen this video before, and we already did how good was Michael Jordan actually. So I'm guessing that was for his career with the Chicago Bulls. Now we're looking at his career with the Washington Wizards. Okay, now a lot of people tend to you know what I'm saying, forget about Wizards with Michael Jordan. Honestly, I get it because they never went to the playoffs and shit like that, and he only went there for like 2 seasons. So I get that shit, but we're gonna dive deep into how good was Wizards Michael Jordan actually. And we're gonna actually, we're just gonna get into it, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna get into it. You feel me? We're just gonna get into it, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's get straight to it, man. And be sure to smash that like button. And yeah, man, let's get straight to it. Let's get this video to like 150 likes. Yeah, let's get straight to it though.
Last Dance was one of the hottest documentaries this year, even though the real last dance of Michael Jordan happened 5 years after the story in the doc. In 2001, Jordan unretired for the second time and suited up in a blue Wizards jersey. Some people say that his 2 Wizards years tarnished his legacy, and some praised MJ even more. So what's the real truth, and how good was Jordan?
I don't think it tarnished his legacy. I just think it was unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think it was.
In Washington, was he really washed? Or did he prove once more that he's the GOAT? Watch the rest of the video to find out. After the last dance. In 1998, MJ and Phil Jackson went to the karaoke bar, and Jordan chose The Careless Whisper by George Michael and sang, "I'm never gonna dance again, the way I danced with you," looking gently in Phil's direction. Okay, I totally made that up, but Jordan indeed said that he wouldn't be playing unless it's—
Don't worry, Matt, bro. I'm the king of making shit up too. Don't worry.
for Phil Jackson.
What?
Since the Bulls GM Jerry Krause didn't want to re-sign Phil, and Scottie Pippen wanted to get his first massive paycheck, the Bulls fell apart, and MJ fulfilled his promise and retired for the second time. And then in January of 2000, Michael came back to the NBA, but he didn't wear a jersey. Instead, he slipped into a suit and tie as a minority owner and president of basketball operations for the Washington Wizards. The team was bad and finished that year with a 29-53 record. And they got even worse next year with 10 wins less. But there was hope on the horizon. They got the #1 pick. MJ had the chance to get a blue-chip prospect, and he famously opted for Kwame Brown, the #1 high school player in the country. Jordan saw something.
Kwame Brown began on everybody's ass, bro. Like, for real, bro. This dude was on everybody's ass. I remember that shit, bro. That shit was funny as hell.
Something in Kwame, and he believed he is the cornerstone that will immediately turn the Wizards into a winning ball club.
By the way, guys, I am sober right now. I'm not high. Okay, it might look like I'm high right now, but I'm actually not. I took some melatonin before I went to bed last night. That's why I look like this and shit like that. I'm all like, okay, just bear with me, okay?
Also, he knew a guy pretty good at basketball. A guy who was on the floor with the team at every practice and who was itching to make another comeback. It's an itch that still needs to be scratched, and I want to make sure this itch doesn't bother me for the rest of my life. I'm just going to play the game of basketball that I love. It's not about the money. Indeed, it wasn't about the money. Jordan the GM gave Jordan the player the smallest salary on the Wizards, and MJ gave all of it to the victims of the 9/11 terrorist attack. It really was just about the game for him. And because of that competitive fire that never ceased to burn, and that voice in the head who kept telling him he is still better than the young guys who took over the league from him. How good were the Wizards? The Wizards had a young Richard Hamilton, who was in his 3rd year. And
I didn't know all of that. I didn't know he gave his money to you know, the thing for the cause of from 9/11. So I didn't know he did all of that shit, bro. Like that's why I'm happy that I'm actually watching these videos, because I would never know all of this stuff, bro. Deadass.
competitive fire that never ceased to burn, and that voice in the head who kept telling him he hurts.
Sorry about that.
The Wizards had a young Richard Hamilton, who was in his third year, and who was turning to be one of the most promising shooting guards in the league. And that was about it when it comes to quality players with potential. The rest were either older veterans on their way out, or young role players. Of course, there was also Kwame Brown, who, by the time the season started, was already crushed by Jordan, who insulted him at any chance he got. Jordan never changed his ways, and just like he trash-talked all of his opponents, teammates, and Jerry Krause, he was maybe even worse to Kwame. The 19-year-old kid couldn't take it, and he played with zero confidence and was basically unusable on the court. Nobody on the team averaged more than 10 points that year, other than Rip Hamilton and Jordan. The Wizards were the same team that won 19 games the year prior, plus Jordan and Kwame. MJ thought it would be enough to be competitive, but he overstated his team and himself. Return of the Mac. Before the season, Jordan was working tirelessly to get himself in shape. He trained every day with his personal trainer, Tim Grover, and held private training camps with various NBA players to get himself in game shape. So, when the season started, Jordan wasn't rusty. In the first 2 weeks of the season, Jordan scored over 30 in 4 of his 8 games. In the 9th, he poured 44 on the Jazz, picking up right where he left off in 1998. After the first 10 games, he averaged 27.4 points, 6.3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. And it seemed like he had never left, as his stats were 4 assists and 2 steals. And it seemed like he had never left, as his stats were virtually the same to the 1998 regular season. He was in the MVP race and made it easy for the world to fall in love with him once again. However, his play wasn't reflected in the team record, as the Wizards only notched 2 games in the win column. They started the season 5-12 and were at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Also, Jordan's stellar play at the beginning of the season wasn't sustainable at the age of 38. He was still Michael Jordan, but he wasn't Air Jordan anymore, or at least not all the time. And even though his totals were still looking good, Mike became an inefficient volume scorer on a bad team. He shot 40% in those first 17 games, a landslide from his career average of 50%.
You see, it's one thing to have all these crazy stats and stuff like that, but it's another thing. It's another thing to be efficient. Like, you could do it, but to be efficient at it. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not being efficient, then it's like, do those numbers really matter? I don't know. Put in the comments down below.
Still fundamentally sound. He could still see every play, and he was still 6'6", strong and confident. But he didn't have the same speed, and he didn't have the legs under him to shoot efficiently. But if you know anything about Jordan, you know that he hates losing more than anything. After those 17 games and a 5-12 record, the Wizards won 9 in a row. Then they lost a couple, and in the second of those 2 losses, MJ had the worst game of his career. In 25 minutes on the floor, he shot 2 out of 10 and finished the game with 6 points, which snapped his record 866 game streak of double.
Oh, and didn't Kobe Bryant drop like 55 on him or some shit like that? I remember that.
Figure scoring, and the media went ballistic.
I ain't trolling. I'm just
after the game. Jordan was down on himself. On the bus ride from the arena, he sat next to Doug Collins, whom he hired to be the coach, and asked him, "Do you think I can still play?" Collins said, "Yeah, of course. I only took you out because we were down by 25 in the 4th and wanted to keep you fresh for the next game." MJ was satisfied and said he did the right thing, but he needed the confirmation and the assurance that his coach still believed in his abilities. 2 nights later, he responded in a big way. He scored the first 3 times he had the ball, and he finished the game with 51 points, going 21.
See, for all you young basketball players, bro, I'm telling you, if Michael Jordan can ask his coach, "Do you think I can still play?" bro, Michael Jordan, like, you talking about, can you still play? Like, what? Like, I'm telling you, man, confidence goes a long way, bro. I'm telling you, in life, not even just basketball, in life. You want to get a girl? Confidence, bro. You want to be a great basketball player? Confidence, bro. Your confidence goes a long way, bro. Michael Jordan probably was like, man, I need that reassurance. I need to be reassured because I'm losing confidence in myself. You know, it's a mental thing, bro. You know?
38 from the field. He was the oldest player ever to score 50 in an NBA game. He followed that up with a 45-point, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 3-steal effort against the New Jersey Nets, including scoring 22 points in a row during one stretch. In the game against the Cavaliers,
I didn't know
the
all
Wizards
that.
were down by a point with 1.6
I didn't know he was doing all of that. Damn!
left. Michael then hit a mid-range jumper for the last buzzer beater of his career. In a game against his former club, after enduring Ron Mercer's trash talk and having his jumper blocked, he responded by pinning Mercer's layup against the backboard with 2 hands and trash-talking him on the way back up the court. It was a game-winning play and one of the most spectacular
Yo, I don't know why, but if you watch that footage on any type of Jordan highlight reel, bro, it's copyrighted. I don't know why, but it's copyrighted, bro. It's annoying as fuck. But yeah, man, I don't know why, but that clip is copyrighted. It's weird. It's weird.
Jordan, or anyone for that matter. It was even more impressive that it was done by a 39-year-old who spent his last 3 years playing golf, drinking, and smoking cigars. By the end of the season...
Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy that LeBron is like 40 years old, bro, and he's doing this shit and more, bro? Like, crazy.
Jordan notched back-to-back 40-point games, but also 4 more games where he failed to reach double figures. And that's where the answer lies about Jordan's time with the Wizards. Yeah, he could still play. And yes, he could still be dominant. But it wasn't the kind of dominance we grew accustomed to, and it didn't happen every game. Jordan finished the year early due to a knee injury that required surgery. And the Wizards didn't make the playoffs with a 37-45 record. MJ played 60 games in the 2001-02 season, and he averaged 23 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 5.2 assists. Those numbers look great in a vacuum, but when you look at Jordan's efficiency, you can quickly tell he didn't have an overly successful season. Jordan took 22 shots per game, far more than he should have for a player shooting 41% from the floor and 19% from 3. He was second to last in effective field goal percentage out of all players who qualified for the stat, and 169th out of 177 qualified for true scoring percentage. The real last dance. In the offseason, Jordan the GM wanted to help Jordan the player. He traded the best young player on the team, Rip Hamilton, for a more experienced Jerry Stackhouse. Trading away Hamilton was a mistake, and Jordan once again...
Big mistake! Why would you trade Rip Hamilton, bro? That's a big mistake. I mean, Jerry Stackhouse is still good. He was a good player too. Like, I'm not taking anything away from that. But Rip Hamilton, like, come on, man. You should never trade a young player, bro. Like, for an experience, like, it's cool to have an experienced player and everything like that, but that doesn't mean that player is better. At least if you're a young player, you can develop him, bro. Like, you could develop him and maybe build a team. That's why the Wizards never won a championship, bro, because every time they draft a good player or a player that's like young, but they're has not yet been polished or developed, they trade him away. They just go trade him away. I don't understand, bro. That's why they never won a championship. They're a poverty franchise, bro. Dead ass.
And proved his short-sightedness in making decisions. The team wasn't that much better, and the season went pretty much the same as the last. Jordan, who was a year older and was battling a lingering
Jerry Stackhouse
injury,
is a good player too.
Still had some juice left, but he had to squeeze really hard to get a full cup, and it didn't happen all the time. He scored over 43 times, becoming the first 40-year-old to score over 40 in an NBA game. He also had 7 more games where he failed to score 10 points. His defense wasn't at the level it once was, and numerous players took the opportunity to put up numbers against Jordan, something that was unimaginable in previous years. Kobe dropped 55 on him
55.
After Jordan taunted him that he could wear the shoes, but could never fill them. Michael was more rational with his shots in the second year, and shot 44% from the floor, and it was enough for 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 3.8 assists for the season. Jordan played in all 82 games, but once again, the team went 37-45 and didn't make the playoffs. The highlight of the year was definitely the All-Star game, where MJ was selected as a reserve after he rejected the offer from Allen Iverson and Tracy McGrady to take their starting spots. He ultimately accepted it from Vince Carter. At halftime, Mariah Carey performed a special tribute to him, donning dresses of both his rookie-year Bulls jersey and his final-year Wizards jersey. as his career highlights played on giant screens behind her. It was a proper send-off, worthy of a star that was Michael Jordan. In the game itself, MJ didn't shoot it particularly well, but he did score 20 points, and most importantly, hit a tough fall-away jumper over Shawn Marion to give the East the lead with less than 5 seconds to play.
That was crazy.
It appeared to be a game winner, but the West scored again and prevailed in overtime. Still, Jordan proved that he still belongs with the best players in the world, at least for one game, even though it was clear he wasn't the best anymore. A mediocre dessert to a great meal. If you want a recap of Jordan's time with the Wizards, you'll get different answers, depending on who you ask. Jerry Stackhouse said that he wished he had never played in Washington, because everything was still going through Michael Jordan, even though it was obvious he wasn't the same player anymore. Kwame Brown was miserable during Jordan's years there, and his career would have certainly been better if he didn't play with MJ as a 19-year-old. The Wizards owner Abe Pollin wasn't thrilled
with some guys can take it, some guys can't, bro. It's just that simple. Like, it's the same thing with Smush Parker and Kobe Bryant, bro. It's like some guys can take it, some guys can't, bro. And it's like you have to be really strong. Like, you gotta be really strong-minded, bro, to play with great players like that, bro. Like, if you play with Kobe Bryant, LeBron, Michael Jordan, like, you gotta be strong-minded, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Real strong-minded. And some guys can't take it. Some guys have an ego. Some guys have too much pride. And that's the thing that fucks up them, that fucks up everything the most, is your pride, your ego. Like, you have to leave that shit at the door, bro, and, like, work and just put in that work. And if you put in that work, it will shut them up. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I gotta put in this work. If I don't put in this work, that they're not gonna shut up about me playing on the court, or my play on the court, or my performance. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Jordan either, and he relieved him of his GM duties shortly after the last season of Jordan as a player. If we compare Jordan's last years to some of the other NBA greats, we'll see some similarities. The greatest players who ever did NBA season of Jordan as a player. Similarities.
Who is this guy right here? Put in the comments down below. Who is this guy? I thought that was David Robinson at first, bro. Like, what? You played for the... Oh, that's the Parker dude. I forgot his name, though, but that's the Parker dude.
The greatest players who ever did it, if they took care of their bodies, were still extremely effective at an advanced age. Tim Duncan was named to the All-NBA and All-Defensive team in 2015 at the age of 39. Kareem made the first team All-NBA in '86, also age 39, and he averaged 26 points in the playoffs that year. Karl Malone averaged 28 and 5 at the age of 39, so it's not unusual that Jordan was still able to play. But maybe the best quote about Jordan's Wizards years came from his agent, David Falk. I just don't think it was a good dessert to a great meal. In the words of De La Soul, Mike was certified hot, and then he dropped to lukewarm. However, that last 2 years didn't affect his legacy, and the unathletic Jordan, who had to pump fake 3 times to get a separation for a shot, was soon forgotten.
It didn't. Like I said, it was unnecessary. Like I said, like, it was something that, it's like almost like when D Wade went to Cleveland. Like, you know what I'm saying, to pair with LeBron. Like, it's just a weird you know, moment or whatever in someone's career. Like, it's like one of those things. Like, it's like one of those jobs on your resume where you're like, why the fuck did I work here, bro? You know?
People like to remember the good things, and the lasting image of Jordan will always be that shot over Russell and celebrating his 6th title with a cigar in his mouth.
So true. Oh my god, so true. Man, do you guys want me to react to how good was Allen Iverson actually? Put in the comments down below. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed that reaction. Hope you guys have a blessed day. And also, on top of that, I just wanted to let you guys know that I love y'all for all the support and all of that stuff. And I just want to let you guys know that don't take anything that I say serious, because, you know, unless I say on God, you know. But don't take anything I say too serious in videos and everything, because I see comments like, "Yo, you said this," da, 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 da. Like, bro, relax, bro. I'm just saying this because I want to keep y'all entertained, man. Are you not entertained? But with that being said, man, thank you for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video, man. With that being said, man, I'm out, man.